All right, now to New Orleans, where the Golden State Warriors dealt the Pelicans a blow to their playoff hopes with an easy 123-108 victory on Monday night. It was another splendid performance from Steph Curry, who totaled a game high 41 points, including 8 made three-pointers. Draymond Green added a triple-double, and Andrew Wiggins scored 26. Pelicans got 32 from Zion Williamson and 19 from Brandon Ingram, but New Orleans made just 5 out of 25 from beyond the arc. In an example of odd scheduling, the Warriors and Pelicans did play again last night, and the Pelicans bounced back with a 108-103 win. Golden State is in a virtual tie with Memphis for the 8th seed in the West, and New Orleans is within 2 games of the 10th seed. They just have 6 games left. Drink, is New Orleans making the play-in tournament?
Hell no. And emphasis on the hell. Listen, yeah, that's right. Here's the deal.
Not on the no, huh?
No emphasis on the hell. Shouts out to Bishop Bullwinkle for everybody that know who that is. Here's the deal. We get to a time where it's time to start calling the Pelicans overrated. It's time to start calling what's going on overrated. Listen, and I know a lot of people are like, dang, man, it's only been 2 years. Listen, do you understand what the NBA did just for Zion last year? I think people got to understand what happened last year to understand where I'm going with this. This guy, in his rookie campaign, literally got the NBA to switch up a whole format for a made-up tournament just for him. Not the team. I don't think it had nothing to do with the team. Just for him. Then you come back the next campaign and play even worse than you did in the campaign that they was trying to benefit you with. I'm sorry, but we might be in blow-up territory down there in New Orleans. Yeah, listen, I'm just giving it to you how I'm giving it to you, raw, straight off the cut. You know what I'm saying? Off the boat, you know? So you got, when I say blow up, I'm not talking about Zion and Ingram. They're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, they're fine. I'm talking about the rest of the people, the pieces around them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. Like that team currently constructed is not good enough. We've seen it 2 years in a row now. Same team.
You want to keep those young guys, the Kyrie Lewises, the Quan Walkers, the guys you ain't really you paying them they rookie salaries, and they coming in, they giving you enough for what you're paying. But the Bledsoes and Alonzos and the Harts and Steven Adams and I'm sorry, man, I'm not getting enough from them guys for what they're getting paid. If you knew what Bledsoe was getting paid to do what he doing, man, you'll lose your mind. Lonzo out here talking about he was trying to be a big ticket item in the offseason, and we see why you still on the Pelican roster. It's just like, listen, hell of a game last night. Too bad for you. We talking about Monday night too. We seen that game as well. But it might be time to blow this thing up. Unless you want to get rid of Stan Van Gundy after 1 year, I would think you would give him another year. David Griffin ain't been terrible from the GM standpoint, but he ain't been awesome either. So I'm assuming he's going to be around for another year. Your coach going to be around for another year. Zion going to be there. Ingram going to be there. It's no way you run this back. It's no way you run this roster back next year. If you do, you're getting lapped by Memphis. Let's make no mistake. New Orleans' competition ain't the Lakers and Clippers. Their competition is the Grizzlies, you know what I'm saying, Memphis, Dallas, Golden State right now. That's their competition. It's not the guys on the upper echelon. It's the teams on the lower echelon. And this ain't it. You're not even at Golden State level right now. No, scratch that. You're not even at Memphis level right now. That's how bad you are. And let's known the guys that's at the top. You're not even Memphis that. And why? We don't understand why. This is the debate me and you have. Why is it like that? All right. Enough beating up on them. I guess I got to give the other team a little shine too. You said Warriors. I said Warriors. Let's talk Warriors. What Golden State trying? No. What's Steph trying to prove out here, man? Is Steph out here trying to prove he still got some game or what?
He's good.
Just simply put, he's great. Well, we know he good. We know he a first ballot Hall of Famer. We know. Listen, in my generation, he one of I think 4 players that I would give credit that revolutionized the game. He came in. He pretty much made centers outdate. If this dude was playing when Shaq was playing, I don't know how long Shaq's career would have been because they would have been asking Shaq to shoot a lot more threes, and he would have been like, "I ain't built for that." So. I think people don't put enough respect on Steph Curry's name on what exactly he did when he came and turned the NBA into shoot him if you got him. Like that's what he turned the NBA into. I don't think he get enough credit. He dropped 41, but that's Steph. Steph is great. We know what Steph gonna bring to the table. What I would like to talk about is the guy that dropped 26. Welcome to the Andrew mother-loving Wiggins comes in and dropped 26. I think a recipe for the Warriors to win is if they can get that steady number 2 that where Clay used to be at. I honestly don't think you have to overexert anything else on this team to win games. You let Steph do what he do. Steph only put up 26 shots. So for what it's worth, he scored 41 in 35 minutes on 26 shots. So that lets you know he gets enough shots, he's gonna make some stuff happen, right? Steph is Steph. If you can get that second guy, whether that be Wiggins, whether that be who was the other guy? It was another guy that went out for him early in the year. He'll lose me. But whether that's him, Draymond, which Bazemore, any of these other guys, I don't even give a rip who the other guy is, right? If they can give you like I don't know in between 20 to 25 points a night with what Steph usually brings you, you're gonna be in the ball games. Not guaranteed to win, but you're gonna be in the ball games. Here's the funny thing about this, right? I think Steph played pretty well in both games, but you got 2 different results, right? The funny thing is the reason you get 2 different results because you get Lonzo Ball out here. Once again, let me circle back to Lonzo Ball. And this is my problem with the rest of this roster. It's just too inconsistent. Lonzo Ball shoots. He scored 7 points in game 1. Game 2, he scored 33. Was you tired the other night? What did you have a lot on your mind? Like what is going? If you have
did you stay up late talking to LeVar?
Right, like I don't know. Big Baller Brand, did you put those shoes back on? I don't understand how you like. I got some nights you on, some nights you off, but it's this level of inconsistency is why you become a journeyman inside the league because nobody can trust you, and it's very hard to trust. Like Lonzo gonna be playing for a different team next year. If he come here with this performance, 7 on one night, 33 on the next night, he's gonna be bouncing around the league because that ain't it. But my whole point of bringing that up is that's like the recipe for the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram, Zion, and then maybe somebody else might show up, and that's it. And that's why they're 30 and 36 with the next coming of the next face of the NBA once LeBron hang it up, right? It's just unacceptable. And let me say this before we get before I pass the mic over to you. Listen, the Pelicans, when this season is over and they do the national TV split up in this offseason, we ain't seeing much of the Pelicans on national TV. I'm telling you that right now. Mark my words. We ain't gonna see much of that. Just like the point you made earlier about Washington. If Westbrook, after all he done in the NBA, and they pretty much gave him 4 national televised games this year, and he actually accomplished something in the NBA. Zion has yet to accomplish anything in the NBA. I just feel like they're going to get that 4-game package too. I think everybody's just over the Pelicans at this point. We just over the rest of the team. You got 2 dudes that can make it happen. They need to figure it out. But to close this out, I'm going to give them an extra hell no, they ain't making the play-in tournament, and we're going to have to figure some things out in the offseason.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're making it. We don't have. We saw them last year. It felt like the NBA gave them a little bit of an easy road to make it. Memphis had that dreadful bubble schedule. It looked like New Orleans had a bit easier line. I think they were a little bit healthy. They weren't missing a key guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. And but they just floundered in the bubble. Like they were one of the most disappointing teams. Like we Phoenix was doing what we thought New Orleans was going to do, or something comparable at least. We talked about this a little bit before. They look like the same team as last year. It doesn't look like much changed. The Eric Bledsoe thing that they did, it's never felt like it worked. And it looked like, for me from the beginning, it looked like Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball. I don't feel like that works. Like, can we get some shooting? How about 5 for 25? You're gonna be when the other team, and especially when the other team's making 17 of 44. That's minus 36 from the 3-point line. This ain't the 1990s, y'all, where teams are scoring. Where there's only like two teams that score 100 points a game.
Less than 90 points every game.
Yeah. This is you got to have some guys that can shoot the ball. We know Zion can do whatever he wants at the rim. I think he did take a 3-pointer in this Monday game. I think it was an air ball. He can do whatever he wants, in the paint. But they're gonna have to. I think they got to do a better job. This is starting to become a David Griffin problem at the GM. He's got to figure out how to build the team around Zion and Brandon Ingram. Because even Brandon Ingram can make threes, but when you watch him play, it feels like he's at his best when he's in the mid-range. And the mid-range is kind of a little bit of a lost art. Like, I feel like Brandon Ingram 10 years ago would have felt like a little bit like got a little Carmelo feel to him, But that's just not today's NBA. So, to assist in that, they got to get shooting. So that's got to be the number one priority.
Now, before you finish, who do you sound like you're talking about? If you wasn't talking about the Pelicans, what team do you think you sound like you're talking about right now?
It sounds like Philly from last year.
Bam.
That's what it sounds like.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
I was, you almost caught me off guard. I was wondering, like, who? Is this might be a last year thing. This year I'm not finding the comparison. But yeah, it does have a little bit of that feel because Philadelphia, they brought in Horford. We didn't like that, and as it turned out, Horford and Harris they weren't earning their paychecks. Horford just didn't fit no kind of way. They couldn't figure out where to start him or bench him. And then you got Harris over here talking about he need more sleep or whatever he's doing. So you had Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, then they end up getting hurt. What a disaster. Yeah. It feels a little bit similar. Philadelphia, what we've seen this year is they've corrected that. You got Seth Curry, you got Danny Green. That's a big help. And Court Miles has been playing better. Shake Milton, he's no joke off the bench. New Orleans is gonna, I don't know, maybe David Griffin need to call Elton Brand and Stan need to call Doc Rivers to see what's going on there. But yeah, like. It just feels like every time you talk about New Orleans, even going back to last year and the bubble, they just feel like a big letdown. Like I think you hit it right on the head when you talk about, we look at the same way that we looked at the Lakers and Clippers last year. We look at the Grizzlies and the Pelicans the same way because that's what happens when one team gets Zion with the first pick, the next team gets John Morant with the second pick. And I just, if I'm a New Orleans fan, I would just be wondering, like, why for 2 years in a row have we appeared to have, I think, more talent, and yet we are consistently looking up in Memphis. Why in the name of Anthony Davis is this happening? So, but not to get hung up a team that ain't going nowhere at this particular moment in time, because that's New Orleans in a nutshell.
Right.
Golden State, in this particular game, they blew them off the floor. This wasn't close. Like 15 is generous. Like this was New Orleans made it a little bit interesting in the third quarter, and then you had Michael Mulder come out there. He had a few big shots. We knew Steph was fabulous all night. New Orleans is lucky that he didn't drop a 50 bomb on him. Looked like it was quite a few 3-pointers that just you felt like they was going down and he just didn't hit them. I really liked I think even so more than Andrew Wiggins because he was great. This is gonna be a surprise. I liked how Draymond played on the offensive end. There was several. He only made 4 shots from the floor, but he stepped in. It was a 3 or his foot was on the line. He stepped into about a 21, 22-foot jump shot with confidence. He nailed it. Then later they cheated out too far, like where he was going to hand Steph the ball, and then he took it aggressively to the rim, slammed it down, and then there was a little bit later because like people don't guard Draymond. It's like what people used to do to Rajon Rondo. He stepped in from the 3-point line to the free throw line and hit a jump shot. Like that is the one of the things not only about like what has happened with Klay Thompson, but Draymond Green's like offense has been, and the deterioration of his offense has been like an undervalued storyline because Draymond Green, before Kevin Durant came over, he was capable at times of giving you 20 to 25 points. He had 3-point range. He could do that. And that's just lately, that just hasn't been there. If he could like regain some confidence offensively or like, get back to being a competent shooter, there was seasons where he could shoot like, upper 30, high 30% in threes. And we just haven't seen that. So not only with what Wiggins did in this game, because that's obviously important because you need, if you're just focusing all your resources on Steph and no one else is helping him, right. That's gonna make or break anything Golden State can do in the playoffs. Right. But yeah, they obviously need Wiggins to be more consistent for him. Draymond, if he could do a little bit more from the scoring, because we know what he does, defense, rebound, and passing, all that is just excellent. And we know I think that's a given. But Wiggins and Oubre, when that wrist is right, that's going to be ultimate. If they can make any noise at all, and I think they can, but it's not about Steph, as we said last week. It's about those other guys, particularly Wiggins and Oubre.
And I think Golden State going to be the team that win the Western play-in tournament. I just want to say that.
I think they'll be one of the teams that gets into the actual field of 8 out west. I agree with that.